unhelpful. Point of order, Patricia Gibson.
Mr Speaker, I rise today to seek your guidance. On the 23rd of October last year, the Secretary of State for Culture, Media and Sport issued a press release indicating that from spring 2017, firm directors would face fines of up to £500,000 by the Information Commissioner's Office if they were found to be in breach of the Privacy and Electronic Communications regulations. This information, incidentally, Mr Speaker, is still published on the government.uk website and is exactly what I had called for in my 10-minute rule bill. In response to a letter I wrote to the Secretary of State on the 17th of January 2017, asking for confirmation of the timing of this legislation, I was told on the 8th of February that the Government intends to publish its consultation on this measure shortly. I was so surprised by the mention of a consultation, something that had hitherto not been mentioned either by the Government or in the press release or indeed the website, that I submitted a written question on the 21st of February trying to establish if the spring 2017 deadline could still be met. In that response, received on the 2nd of March, I was told that a consultation would be issued during this session of Parliament. On the 2nd of March, I sought further clarification via another written question and was told on the 10th of March that the intention was to issue a consultation in due course. Mr Speaker, this is a matter of great import to a huge number of people, and we have already arguably entered spring, and the consultation, which has not even begun and was not even initially mentioned by the Government. Therefore, I am at a loss as to understand how the Government can possibly meet its own deadline on this issue. Can you offer me guidance, Mr Speaker, as to how I can establish what the Government Department is doing to ensure it meets its own timetable, and how I can best elicit that information, given that letters to the Secretary of State and written questions appear not to be effective in doing so?
Well, to the Honourable Lady for her point of order, of which she gave me advance notice. It's very difficult for the Chair to assist the Honourable Lady. First of all, I would say that governments of both hues in this country haven't always been overly preoccupied with meeting their own deadlines. It hasn't always been regarded as an overriding priority by them, although it is often the case that people who have depended upon their words would prefer a greater fidelity to the commitment that has been made. That's the first point. The second point is that there is often, as the Honourable Lady will know, something of a debate about what falls within the seasons of the year. And it is not uncommon for ministers in a government to refer to an intention to do something in the spring, and sometimes they have a slightly different interpretation of the period covered by a season of the year to that which honourable members have, or members of the public might have. And thirdly, I would simply say to the Honourable Lady, as I've been advised to do by the clerk who has helpfully volunteered some text here to me, it is not unprecedented for government departments to be unspecific about when they are going to do something. However, I'm sure that the Honourable Lady will use her ingenuity to pursue the matter further. My advice to her, it's almost, if you will, geographical advice, is that she should wend her way to the table office to see what sort of questions she can table that might provide satisfaction. And I don't wish to be unkind to the Honourable Lady, who's an extremely diligent member. My broad advice to her, not merely as Speaker, but as somebody who was for 12 years a parliamentarian, mainly sitting on the back benches, is that the Honourable Lady, frankly, should make as much of a nuisance of herself as she possibly can, and that might avail her. What she wants is to persist to such a degree that ministers feel it is better to provide satisfaction to the Honourable Lady